Hello, my name is Kelly Cobbler, and I am going to be doing Chapter 19, Sales and Operations Planning for my chapter projects. So, what is sales and operations planning? So, sales and operations planning is basically a process that helps firms provide better customer service. It also helps with lower inventory, shorten customer lead times, stabilize production rates, and give top management a handle on the business. So, it can consist of meetings, high-level meetings where key intermediate term decisions are made, and it must occur at an aggregate level, and also detailed at the product level. So basically, an overview of these activities is sales and operations planning was coined by companies to refer to aggregate planning. So then this new terminology is meant to capture the importance of cross-functional work. Then the aggregation on the supply side is done by product families, and the demand side is done by groups of customers. Types of planning. So you have long-range planning, which is focuses on more on the horizon, greater than 1 year, usually performed annually. You've got intermediate range planning, which is a 3 to 18 month time period, and it usually occurs weekly, monthly, or quarterly. And then you've got short range planning, and it's 1 day to 6 months. What can we do right this second? And what can we do in our daily and weekly time frames to achieve this different types of planning? We also have aggregate operations plans. So these specify the optimal combination of production rate, workforce level, and inventory on hand. This planning can be done on an intermediate range planning period of 3 to 18 months. In general, the external environment is outside the production planner's direct control. So this is product planning environment. And in some firms, demand can be managed. Complementary products work for firms facing cyclical demand fluctuations. With services, cycles are more often measured in hours than months. So production planning strategies are plans for meeting demand. So you have trade-offs are involved, which include workers, employed workers, work hours, inventory, and shortages. Pure strategy uses just one of these approaches, and it's a mixed strategy of two or more. You also have relevant costs, and there's 4 different cost types. You have basic production costs, costs associated with changes in the production rate, inventory holding costs, and back order costs. So aggregate planning techniques, it's like a cut and try approach. So this involves costing out various production planning alternatives and elaborate spreadsheets developed to facilitate the decision process. Linear programming is used in a mathematical analysis, and this determines an optimal plan, whereas simulation is a what-if type of situation using simulated demand to evaluate effectiveness of alternative plans. So to evaluate an alternative plan, you want to produce to exactly monthly production requirements by varying workforce size. You need to produce to meet expected average demand by maintaining a constant workforce, and then you need to produce to meet minimum expected demand using a constant workforce and subcontract to meet additional requirements. And then there's also, you do it all, but the first 2 months using a constant workforce and the use of overtime to meet additional output requirements. So you have like graphical summaries. You also have level scheduling. A level schedule holds production constant over a period of time. So it's something of a combination of strategies mentioned here in my presentation, and also for each period it keeps the workforce constant and inventory low, and depends on demand to pull products through. So you have a product, you have a demand for a product, it pulls it through, you buy it, you send it out to your customers. So it helps keep your inventory low, so you're not sitting on dead inventory. So the advantages of the level scheduling: the entire system can be planned to minimize inventory and working process. It's up to date because of the low amount of work in process. It's a smooth flow throughout the production system, and you purchase items from vendors can be delivered when needed, often directly to the production line. Some requirements would be an assembly line format. The system must contain excess capacity. There's got to be a smooth relationship between purchasing, marketing, and production. and the cost of carrying inventory must be high. So if the cost of carrying inventory for your manufacturer is low, then I wouldn't recommend this one, because equipment costs must be low and the workforce must be multi-skilled. We also have yield management. So yield management is the process of allocating the right type of capacity to the right type of customer at the right time and to maximize revenue or yield. So this is a powerful approach to making demand more predictable. And this has existed as long as there has been limited capacity for serving customers. And this really began with American Airlines when they made their computerized reservation system. So some success factors for yield management is demand can be segmented by customer, fixed costs are high and variable costs are low, inventory is perishable, products can be sold in advance, and demand is highly variable. So you can take a look at hotels when you're doing yield management. Hotels offer one set of rates during the week and another set during the weekend, kind of like a high price and demand. The variable costs associated with the room are low in comparison to the cost of adding rooms to the property. So the available rooms cannot be transferred from night to night. And blocks of rooms can be sold to like conventions, tours, weddings, and potential guests may cut short their stay or not show up at all. It gives their customers that option. So the only thing though is pricing structures have to appear logical to the customer and justify the different prices. So it has to make sense to your customer. Why am I being charged a certain amount for staying during the week, and why am I being charged a different charge for staying on the weekend? And it must handle variability in arrival or starting times and time between customers. It must be able to handle the service process. And you have to train your employees to work in an environment where overbooking and price changes are standard. And it directly impacts the customer. This essence is the ability to how you're going to manage the demand for yield management systems. So that is my presentation, and I hope you have a good day.